There are consistently two lists where Idaho ranks dead last or close to it. That would be spending per student and doctors per capita. For every 100,000 Idahoans, we currently have less than 200 doctors. In comparison, Massachusetts, who tops that list, has more than double that number. This bearing at the bottom of the barrel, well, it isn't a secret, even to our lawmakers, who might or many point to as one of the reasons we're in this predicament. You can see Idaho's abortion laws if you want that answer. However, their answer to solve the problem seems to be, well, pass more laws. For example, today, they set out to empower counselors and therapists with deeply held religious beliefs with the legal ability to deny a client. Well, surely that protection will draw the emotionally intelligent mental health professionals to the gem state, right? Well, the Senate floor gave it a green light.
To make a living is to know what you're willing to sacrifice.
That's a business decision.
But Idaho senators say some
there needs to be trust.
Shouldn't even be up for debate.
No Idahoan should be required to check their moral or ethical principles at the door of their profession.
Senate Bill 1352 draws the line at firmly held religious beliefs because supporters say counselors and therapists are forced to justify actions they morally oppose, making for a bad relationship for both client and counselor.
And that's what it's all about.
Senator Carl Bierke is the bill's sponsor.
If you're looking for a counselor, a therapist, a wedding counselor, couples counselor, you want to find a match.
But Democrats were quick to point out the profession is already guided by a code of ethics, and it outlines a mismatch of morals does not mean an omission of service.
Talking to the profession about how you can find balance with your own values as well as your clients.
But under this bill, a counselor denying service on the base of religion cannot face repercussions.
In this way, they are protected.
That includes civil claims, criminal charges, and loss of license.
This bill is basically allowing a counselor to get off the hook if they violate their ethics.
Republican Representative Jeff Schroeder argues,
and I'm going to hire a counselor.
This bill could lead to discrimination in the hiring process.
Okay, before I hire you to take this caseload of domestic violence or alcohol counseling, I need to know if you're going to have any sincerely held religious beliefs that are going to cause us a problem. I don't know if we can do that. I mean, this thing is just going to generate litigation 6 ways to Sunday.
But the intention of the bill is to protect people from a situation where no one wins, specifically a client needing to justify bad behavior.
He really feels strongly that if he were only to have an affair on his wife, things in this life would be so much better. And he's looking for that counselor that he's working with to validate.
I just don't think that's the way counseling works, but I'm not a counselor, so maybe I'm wrong. But this is about people, gay people. That's what we're really talking about.
Senator Ruckde argues the intent to protect does the opposite. It's a notion rejected by the majority, along with the industry's code of ethics.
That's not who sets the policy for licensure in the state of Idaho. We set the policy.
Debate against the bill ran well into voting.
The secretary will call the roll.
It passed easily,
Ruckde,
23-11,
Schroeder,
with no moral sacrifices,
Taylor,
down to the last word.
60 seconds to explain your vote.
I cannot support this particular bill until we can have the same type of passion towards respecting all Idahoans' personally held and sincerely held beliefs. So I'll be voting no.
That Senate bill now moves to a House committee. It is halfway to the governor's desk. Multiple lawmakers said they know counselors, have family in the profession, or have polled constituents to get an idea of what they think. And some of those counselors say they want this protection, while other lawmakers said the counselors they talked to think this is a terrible idea. Religious counselors also, Brian, do exist.
Sure.
Schroeder pointed this out, and in state law, it's not the same license. I don't even think they have a license.
Right.
So he said, if you want to go be a religious counselor, that's awesome. Go be one. But this is a separate type of work. And if you want to work in this field, there's different rules for it.
And I tend to agree with Senator Ruckde there. I'm not a counselor, but I guess if you're looking for a counselor to agree with everything you want them, that you're doing everything correctly, you're not really looking for counseling at that point.
I actually had to ask other people in our newsroom today when I was writing this, because I'm like, is that how it works?
Yeah, no.
And I guess it's a case-by-case thing. I guess every counselor, therapist is different, but I think that would be a unique situation.
And he's probably right about the last thing he said as well. All right. Thank you very much, Andrew.